Hey, this is Andrew Marshall, and you're watching Souterrain.
So, obviously you're not from Lowell, but why did you choose UMass Lowell for college?
I think I kind of picked it for two different reasons. One, my sister went here, so I have a little bit of a familiar idea of how things work around here, but also I also don't know a lot about Lowell, and I was really curious about the music scene, and just all the different things that my sister was telling me about that I never necessarily saw, and just that and the music department there, I just felt really welcomed there. I felt like I really liked their mantra, which was kind of making everyone a musician, whether you're an SRT major or a music business. They want you to be a musician first and then be specialized in whatever field you're going into, which I think is extremely important going into the music industry, because if you don't have an idea of who you're recording or what type of music they're recording, then how can you really give them the best sound? Or if you're working with a jazz musician and you're trying to get them shows, well, how do you explain that to people that you're trying to book shows with if you don't know what their sound's like, if you've never played that kind of music before? So I really, really loved that. Just the vibe at UMass Lowell is just great. I mean, I love the campus, I love the people, and I really feel like I picked the perfect place.
Cool. So once you kind of got acclimated to Lowell, how long did it take you to start coming downtown and start getting gigs to perform at?
Well, even before I even came here, I was talking to my sister's friend. I was like, "Where do you guys go? Where do you guys hang out? Where would people want live music?" So I got a hold of different coffee shops, different places around town. I mean, I only got so much from my sister's friends, obviously, but that was definitely helpful, just getting my foot through the door and just emailing people, talking to people in person. And I'm always still looking around. I don't think I've explored the city enough yet, but I'm getting there, and I'm definitely going to be reaching out to more places and
So you performed here at Film Number 5. Have you performed elsewhere, or are you talking about places to perform at?
Yeah, I've been in talks with Uncharted. I know a lot of the UMass Lowell ensembles perform there as well. And also I've been playing at Cobblestones every once in a while for the brunch, which is a lot of fun. Really cool environment. Get to play a ton of music, try out my stuff, see what works, see what doesn't work. A low risk environment.
So what kind of percentage when you perform at those shops? How many people know you ahead of time, and then how many people don't know you? What's the breakdown?
I tend to get a decent amount of people just from family and friends and fans that like my music, but also a lot. I just try to bring people from college that I'm getting to know. Like, hey, if you never heard me sing before, I'd love to hear you. Come to Cobblestones or come to Mill, and that's been really cool, just seeing what my friends think of my music, because they've only heard it in the dorm or on a recording or something like that, but to see it live it's a totally different experience.
Do you get nervous before you play live, or do you feel comfortable on the stage?
I think the perfect amount of nervousness. I think I get on there knowing that I want to go on there, that's where I want to be, but it gives me that a little bit of anxiety, but that's the type of anxiety that will push you over the edge and make you want to perform. I think as a performer, if you go on stage and you're not a little anxious, then I mean, how are you going to give yourself a good performance? I've always hated going onto a stage and feeling completely comfortable, because then you might stagnate and your performance might suffer from that. And I've been in instances where that's happened, so if I feel those little jitters in my stomach, I think I'm in for a good show.
Right. Well, it's that sense of adrenaline that kind of makes you play up to your full potential, right?
Exactly. Not knowing who's in the crowd, if anyone knows me or not, that really excites me, because I'm like, hey, I'm going to pour my heart into this song, and I hope you get what I'm getting out of it.
Right. You have the potential to go out there and make new fans, new connections. Yeah, express your feelings. And there's a lot of feelings inside your music. There's a lot that it's not so much party music. It's not so much, chill music. It really makes you feel true emotion.
Yeah, definitely. That's usually what I'm going for. I mean, some of my biggest influences are John Mayer. He's my guy. I mean, when I listen to his stuff, what's great about his lyrics is that it transcends through all different people. It's not necessarily you're looking at what John's going through, but you can look at his lyrics and say, I've gone through something similar. And I strive for that with my lyrics, that I try to not make them too vague, but a little specific at the same time. Perfect balance so that people can connect to them.
So what age did you start performing at, and how did you kind of get into the music scene? Were you always musically talented? Does it run in the family, or did you kind of break off on your own?
So So when I was younger, I feel like most musicians start in the theater department. I was just amazed by like theater productions. I saw one and I was like, I gotta do this. So I did some summer workshops, and I really didn't start like singing in front of people. I didn't have the confidence until I was about in middle school, in the productions there. I was in Greece, played Danny Zuko.
Nice.
It's funny because I talk to my parents and they say, Andrew, we really didn't know you could sing until we saw you in Greece. It was so weird. I was like, really? I was like, I always knew I could kind of sing, but and then I started playing guitar in 8th grade more.
Why guitar?
Consistently. I don't really know. I think I was always just dazzled by the guitar. Listening to old music with my dad, 80s music, like all of his influences, Allman Brothers, I was amazed by it, and I was like, I gotta play the guitar. And then I just feel like all the type of music I was listening to, I love Jason Mraz, I love that kind of like singer-songwriter vibe stuff with acoustics, so I was like, I gotta start playing. And so I had a guitar since 4th grade, but 8th grade I finally found a teacher that was really working with me, just teaching me what I wanted to learn, and started from there. And immediately I was just like, I gotta write music. So I'd try to write stuff to it, and obviously it starts off really bad, like you write about some weird stuff, but the best piece of advice my guitar teacher ever gave me is like, it doesn't matter how weird your songs are, how bad they are, each song leads to your next song. He's like, you could write about a banana today, and like tomorrow you could be writing a love song or something like that. And I really took that to heart because I'd always look at my lyrics and I'd be so self-critical and be like, these are awful, like no one would want to listen to these.
Right.
But it's just about doing it and just getting better and better. And Ed Sheeran has that good quote. He's about like, if you have dirty water in a drain or something. I've watched interviews about that, but it's so true. You can't expect a high-level song until you start with the low-level stuff. So I started writing in middle school and high school, and I started performing my own stuff towards the middle of high school, towards the end. So.
And then how did you kind of like develop a fan base and develop the confidence to kind of like break out into like open mics, that type of?
That was more of a recent thing. I performed actually at UMass Lowell before I was even attending here because my sister went here. So I performed at their relays and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just always wanted to perform. I saw other people my age doing it, and I was like, why can't I do that? I should do that. And so I started really, over the past year or so, I've been performing more outside of my school. I would only perform at like the talent shows and stuff. And I think the biggest thing is I used to be in a boy band called Kick It, and that was kind of my jumping off point because before then I'd never performed really outside of my school or my town's area, but I performed with them, and then I realized, oh, I can do this on my own too once the group kind of fell apart. So that was kind of the reason why.
Right. Was everybody kind of supportive, or did you face a lot of like, why are you doing this type of thing? Like, do people like mock you? I know that like bullying's huge now, especially like anytime anybody tries to like deviate from the pack, like, did you face a lot of like negativity, or was it mostly positive?
Definitely like in middle school, being like one of the only guys in my grade that would sing confidently in front of people. Guys would give me smack, people would give me smack for that kind of stuff, but once people like heard me and realized I was really passionate about that, I think it's hard to make fun of someone for something they're passionate about. I think that's something I truly believe in, is like, if you're passionate about, I don't know, building houses, then I can't detract from that. If you're doing great work, if you're doing something that you love, I think there's no reason to make fun of someone for that. And so I really didn't, at that point when I'm putting out my own music, I have a lot of support actually from my school, and I think my classes and my student body have been really, really helpful with that.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I definitely hear what you say when you say, start with something and build off of it, because that's kind of what we're doing with our videos.
Yeah.
We're going through and it's like our first video is shot off an iPhone, you know what I mean? And now we're upgrading, we're having different cameras and professional pictures and better videography. So it's like, we started with an idea, and then we kind of, each interview I feel gets a little bit higher quality and gets a little bit easier.
Definitely. So. I think so many people are scared to start at the bare minimum,
Yeah.
But that's the only way you can start. You have to start somewhere. You have to go up.
Right.
And I do the same thing. I look back on old videos. I'm like, oh, that's where I went flat, or ooh, that's a nice voice crack, Andrew. Good job. Or like, I messed up there. But it's all in the past, and you take that, and it's like studying film. It's like you're Tom Brady. You're studying film for the next game or something. You look at it and you say, okay, what can I take from this? What can I do to become a better performer, a better songwriter, or just a better musician in general?
Yeah.
And if you have that kind of mindset, I just feel like the only way you can go is up.
So a lot of the music that you make is revolving around love in different instances. You have like finding love, falling out of love, not being at the same point in your life or relationship with other people. Do you see yourself as like strictly a love artist, or do you see yourself kind of branching out of that, or like how do you see your music evolving and what you might transition into?
I think I kind of read about what's going on in my life right now. And so I think really my music has no boundaries or limits in the future. Like I said before to you, I mean, individually, I kind of rely on myself for my music right now, but I'd love to expand and talk to new people, get more instruments going, like get a band going, and really be creative in that aspect and just see what we can make and be more complex melodically and intricate and see where we can touch upon. Because I mean, a lot of my inspirations are blues players or great players like John Mayer, Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray, all these kind of guys I love listening to and I'd love to emulate one day. I'm not saying I'm going to be any type of player like them. I mean, maybe, who knows, but I'd love to be able to combine more instruments, maybe make a new sound, because I think that's what everyone's ears are going to perk up and hear. Because I mean, everyone's heard a love song every once in a while. Sure, I could get some attention like that, but I'd love to make something that's going to excite me, and if it excites me, then it's going to excite someone else as well.
Right, so yeah, a unique sound.
Definitely.
Do you have anybody that you're looking to collaborate with? You talked a lot about bands and being around other influences.
Definitely, like the connections I've made here at Lowell. I'm learning every single day, like what other people in the department can do, like different guitarists, different drummers, different singers. And it's really, really cool. I mean, I'm only scratching the surface right now as a freshman, just meeting new people. There's so many people in the department. And there's people outside of the department too that play. And I think slowly but surely, like, we're gonna start meeting each other, we're gonna start jamming, and something might happen, you know? And if something does happen, great. If something doesn't happen, that's also great, whatever. I mean, I'm just all about making music with whoever wants to make music, and if someone wants to do that, carve out some time to do that, then I'm sure I would love to collaborate with pretty much anyone.
Do you meet a lot of other musicians at the gigs you do, like the different coffee houses and whatnot, or is it mostly just within your studies? Because you study music business, so you're around a lot of like-minded people.
Some gigs, I mean, depends. If I'm on a gig with multiple people, I always try to make sure I talk to the other people that are performing, because a lot of times their music's great. I mean, and it's great to make those kind of connections, because you never know when I might have a show and I want to fill up some spots, or they might have a show and they want to fill up some spots, and just making those connections, seeing what their influences are like, and learning from them too, because we're all in this together. We're all just trying to spread our music and see if someone's gonna like it, and like it as much as we do, because that's why we make it. We're really making this as like someone would write. It's like we're just putting our feelings and our life events into music for someone else to take and perceive.
So a lot of the artists that you end up collaborating with or meeting or wanting to work with, are they in the same type of genre where they're writing love songs with like a guitar, or are you meeting people that are playing different instruments or different type of music? Is it like is there a similar vibe in coffee shop music, or does it kind of branch out and you get all these different genres?
I mean, I wouldn't say coffee houses or any kind of venues that I play have specific types of music. I mean, I know so many different people. I mean, I have friends from Berkeley, I have friends from all over that play jazz, that play this and that. And I mean, I play different stuff too. I mean, though I put myself out as this kind of pop singer-songwriter, I mean, I've experience with jazz, classical, all these kind of things. So, no, I don't think there's any specific genre that I gravitate towards. I'm just gravitated towards good music, good passionate music. Because I mean, I just love seeing people love what they're doing. And like at the end of the day, if someone's loving what they're doing, like my eyes can't not be attracted to watching and listening.
Regardless of what type of music it is.
Regardless.
Cool, very cool. So when did you kind of start your music career, and how did that kind of take off?
So, as I said, I've kind of always been like writing and playing guitar, playing at my school and stuff, but I didn't really start taking it seriously that like, hey, I can start gigging around till recently. And I'd always talked about it with like my teachers and stuff, like you should just put some songs together and just go perform. And I finally did it. This past year has probably been my most productive year. I started playing, I reached out to the commune. That's where I've been playing a lot. I play there, I play wherever someone will have me. And it starts there. And once you build up that repertoire, it's really a lot easier to just go between different venues and playing, because I think the toughest thing was just building up 2 to 3 hours worth of music for me to play, because it's so daunting at first. But I tell everyone that wants to start out and wants to start playing their music to just, just start practicing some songs. Like, once you get them down, you get them down. Like, I really don't have to practice certain songs because I know them by heart. I mean, I'll practice them just to make sure they're solid, but it's once you have them down, it's much easier to just go into a performance and just pick songs you want to sing.
So you've been performing a lot. Obviously, you're studying music business here, so you're getting some music background that way, some business background that way. It's probably helping you manage your career a little bit, as well as your own intuition. And then you've been performing here. Is that why you chose UMass Lowell, or did you choose UMass Lowell for a different reason? Were you familiar with it before you came here? All these different opportunities here that you've been performing at?
Yeah, there's definitely a few reasons that I chose UMass Lowell. Definitely was a little familiar with me. My sister went here, she just graduated, so I knew the campus a little bit. I didn't know it as extensively as she did, obviously, because I didn't go here yet. But I had a lot of interest in that realm. But there was also a lot of curiosity, because I knew that Lowell had this unique music scene, and this is really cool background in history. And I just wanted to explore that, and I saw the downtown area, and I heard about all the stories that my sister had about going to certain places, and I was like, that sounds really, really cool. And then when I met up with the music department, I heard great things about it. I really, really loved their mission statement, which was just basically, let's make everyone a musician first, and then we'll go into our little branches of the music community, which is business or whatever. And I really liked that, because it's important when you're going into the workforce to have a good grip on what kind of music you're working with. If you're working with an artist that's a jazz musician, you should really understand from their standpoint jazz, or if you're working with a singer-songwriter, understand that, or a classical singer, that type of stuff. And it's really important for sound recording technology people as well. And I really, really loved that, because it's just different than a lot of other schools. A lot of other schools just kind of teach you, they may or may not teach you to be a musician first. And I thought that was really, really cool, because it caters to both sides of me. Right.
So once you started at UMass Lowell, obviously you've done some coffee shops and you've done some gigs around campus. How has kind of the reception been here, and what do you kind of think after being in it for a little over a semester? What do you think of UMass Lowell and the Lowell community?
I love Lowell here. I mean, I love all the people I'm meeting. I'm meeting new people in the music department, outside of the music department, every day that I'm connecting with, that I can use, that we can work together and do amazing things. I mean, I'm meeting people, sound recording technicians, or I'm meeting people that are great at filming, different things like that, and the reception's been really great. I mean, I haven't had a ton of shows in Lowell yet, but hopefully in the near future we'll have more and more. And all my friends have been really, really supportive, and they see my music and they like it, and to me that means the world to me, knowing that I'm not crazy, like I'm not the only one that likes my music, that other people are liking it and taking something from it as well. So.
Right. I mean, I think the only thing that is a challenge for you is really the exposure, because it seems like everyone, myself included, that listens to it and gets it in front of them, especially live. I mean, it's incredible, I think it's just getting it out to the masses, I mean, I really feel like that, because a lot of musicians start out and you can tell that they have some talent and they're building off it, I mean, they're growing as a musician, whereas I really feel like you could go and play a big show, I mean, you could go and, be streamed nationally, it's a certain sound that you hear and you're like, that's professional, you know what I mean, and your performances are kind of inspiring in the sense that a lot of your stories relate to so many people, because everyone has these types of emotions, you know what I mean? Love and kind of doubts, you know what I mean? And it's really touching to kind of feel a connection with someone rather than just enjoy someone's music, And I feel like a lot of the music that has deeper lyrics can resonate with people and transcend age, because a lot of music caters to specific ages, and it's interesting the way that your music goes. Do you have like a target market do you feel, or like is there any like particular demographic that really latches on? Because I've seen a lot of college kids at your shows, but obviously that's because you're in a college town. So
I think my main goal when I write music, and I may not, and I'm working towards it, I'm definitely not there yet, but I would love to make music that transcends. Like 20 years from now you could still listen to that song and you're not sick of it, or you could go back to where you were when you first listened to it. And that's really hard. I mean, there's a lot of music that kind of comes and goes, and it has its peaks, but that's the challenge as a songwriter, is where to grow, where to go from here. And I do think my music is getting there. I mean, I definitely need to work a lot more on it, and working on expanding to different audiences, because I want it to be as connectable as possible. I don't want people to be like, oh, that's just some silly love song that you wrote about because you're 18 and that's how you feel. I really, really want to make music that someone's going to listen to and think of something in their life and connect to that. And I'm always working towards it. I'm super, super critical of my lyrics. Sometimes I try to be way too critical, and I try to be too metaphorical, but you know, it's all a work in progress, for sure.
Alright, so you have a project coming up, an EP.
Yep.
So that's coming out, do you have a time frame on it?
I don't have a date yet, but I'm really, really hoping that I can get it out kind of sometime in the spring, at the end of the semester maybe, and just around April, May time, whenever I can, but as soon as possible, definitely.
And what does that kind of feature? What are the emotions or what are the stories behind that? Where are you at on that?
Well, I'm planning to title it Letters from Lowell, and kind of the rationale behind that is that these songs are just kind of, if I were to write a letter to someone, these are like, this is how I feel, this is what I'd write to them. So they're intimate songs about different things, about different people that have really graced my life for the better. And I think the going of letters is kind of like, you know, pencil and paper. It's a little rough. You might have some scribble outs or whatever, and I think that really goes with the theme of my music right now, because it's just acoustic bass, and I think it reflects how I'm living my life right now in Lowell, and just reflecting on that in general.
So is each song kind of about a different friendship or relationship that you have? Is that kind of how you've catered it?
Different instances, sure. I mean, there's bound to be some songs that are about the same person or more, but I try to keep the songs as kind of, you have to play with vagueness and specificness, because you don't want it to be too vague that no one understands it, but you also don't want it to be too specific so that person's like, that song's about me.
Right,
That's
right,
kind of
right.
weird.
Yeah.
But you want it to be that perfect level so that I can gain something from it, someone else can gain something from it, and just to capture whatever emotion I was feeling. And that's kind of what I stem on. I usually start with an idea about how someone made me feel, and then the rest of the song is built off that. It's not necessarily all about that, but it's about that idea and what I was feeling then, and then I build the lyrics off of that.
How many tracks are you thinking?
You know, I don't have a track number yet. I do have a lot of songs in contention. At least 5. It could be a lot more. It could be, but it would be definitely at least 5. But I have like about 8 or more songs that I'm just kind of like playing with that I like. A lot of them I've been performing, so it just depends which ones I want to really put out there and let people hear.
And where will you be kind of broadcasting that? What is your platform of choice that you're really pushing?
Well, my goal is to put it on Spotify, iTunes, wherever. Honestly, I'll probably do some kind of video stuff to put on YouTube as well, just so people can hear it. Wherever, just it's accessible. I mean, I have no preference on if someone wants it on Bandcamp or SoundCloud, I'll put it there too. I'm just really, the main goal here is just to get my music out there for people to listen to, and just for it to be easily accessible for people to listen to as well.
Is there anyone who's kind of been like an influence or an inspiration to your music career or just your personality in general that you kind of want to play a special tribute to?
Yeah, I would definitely want to thank my family, my mom, my dad, my sisters. They're really, really supportive of me, which is really, really great. I mean, I love them so much. My best friend Mike, he's always there for me. My friends at college, they've been nothing but supportive, especially all the ones I'm making, both in the music department, on East, on South, wherever. My girlfriend, she's been really, really great. Just anyone that's ever listened to my music, that have said good things about it, like it just, every compliment, every I felt this way or I felt that way, you know, it helps me along, and it makes me want to do it so much more. So really, all those people, you know, and any of you guys watching right now, I appreciate you guys, and definitely stay along, stay tuned. I'm really excited about these next couple months, and I hope you are too. And I hope you enjoy some of these tracks that I'm writing. So thank you.
So if people feel inspired, people want to find you, where do they find you? What platforms are you on, social media and whatnot?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Instagram's at AWM Music, so that's 2 M's. People always do one. I'm also on Facebook, Andrew Marsh for Music, and I'm the same for Twitter, but there's an underscore at the end. I'm not on Twitter that much, but you know, if you follow me, well, maybe I'll start tweeting. But yeah, those are my main platforms. I have some stuff on YouTube, but it's just mainly performance stuff, so I can send it out to people. But the YouTube will definitely start getting more populated very soon, so stay tuned.
Cool. Watch out for the EP, stream his music, download his music, buy his music, follow his journey, and this has been another episode of Souterrain.